I turned 30 a few months ago, and I wanted to film this video not just to hopefully give you enormous value, but also to kind of look back at my life and look back at what I've learned over the past 12 years or so and think about what I would have done differently. So in this video, I want to share that with you. Also, if you're new here, my name is Jorge Callaos. I'm a business lawyer based in Florida, specializing in high stakes lawsuits. And in this channel, we explore the principles and the strategies to help us live more productive, meaningful, and fulfilling lives. Life lesson number 1, nobody cares about you. Now, I don't mean that super literally, but let me explain. Hopefully you have a small group of people that love you and that you love them and that they truly care about you and that you truly care about them. But outside this group of people, nobody really cares about you, at least not in the way that you think. When we're young and we're 18 and we're 20 and we're 22 and we're 25, we think that everybody cares about what we're doing. We think everybody's talking about what we're doing. And the reality is that maybe they talk about you every now and then, but I promise you, they are not worried about you. They are worried about their own problems. They are worried about what other people think of them. There's a psychological phenomenon called the spotlight effect, and I forget what the exact study found or what the exact study was, but basically it found that people think that other people are looking at them or thinking about them way more than other people actually are. And so I think the study was something like they made people wear a funny shirt or a shirt with a bright color, and then they asked them, how many people do you think noticed your wacky shirt? And naturally everybody thought that everybody noticed their wacky shirt, but the reality was that when they polled everybody else, the number of people that actually noticed the shirt was significantly lower than the number of people that those people with the shirt thought notice the shirt. And so they named that the spotlight effect to illustrate how we all kind of feel like we have a spotlight on us. But the truth is that people are not paying attention to us the way we think they're paying attention to us. They have their own problems, they have their own worries, and really they're thinking about what other people think of them because they're also prone to the spotlight effect. And so if I could go back and tell my 18-year-old self or any 18-year-old one life lesson, this would be one of them, and that's that nobody cares about you, not in the way that you think. Life lesson number 2, all storms pass. It's hard to understand when we're in the middle of a storm, but all storms pass. This is especially hard to understand if you're young and you're in the middle of one of your first storms or the very first storm of your life. And no matter what I say in this video, if you are in fact in the first big storm of your life, there is nothing that I can say that will make you truly comprehend on a deep emotional level that the storm will actually pass. But it's nice to understand it on an intellectual level that the storm will in fact pass. And then there will be sun, and then there will be another storm, and then there will be more sun, and then there will be another storm. In other words, there's seasons to life. I've noticed that to live a good life, it's important to keep in mind that nothing's ever as good as it seems and nothing's ever as bad as it seems. And no good time lasts forever and no bad time lasts forever. So you might as well just get what you can out of the present moment and make the most of that. However, I will say this, all storms pass, but they only pass if you move through it. If you decide to give up and just sit there in the middle of the storm, it will rain for the rest of your life. So you have to move through it, and understanding that all storms pass should hopefully help you move through it. Life lesson number 3, life will never be easy. The expectation that life will be easy will always leave you frustrated because life will never be easy. Conversely, the expectation that life will be hard will leave you ready to take on the challenge, and it will allow you to enjoy the times where it's easier than you expected. But if you expect it to be easy, the hard times will destroy you, and the easy times won't even feel as good because you expected it. Exceeded expectations are always better than unmet expectations. If we want to live a good life and we want to live a happy life, it's important for us to manage our perspective and our expectations. And if I've learned one thing in my 30 years of life, is that life will never be easy, at least not for very long. You'll have seasons in life that are easier than others. You'll have seasons of life where everything seems to flow effortlessly, and that's great. You should enjoy that, but you should understand that that isn't going to last for very long. And honestly, most of the time, especially if you're somebody that works very hard and has ambitions that you're going after, life will be hard. It will be hard to move toward the goals that you set for yourself. And if you expect it to be easy, you will never go anywhere because you will feel so dejected when it's not easy. And if you expect it to be hard, you will be ready to take on the challenge. And in the moments where it's easier than you expected, you will enjoy it. Life lesson number 4, you will always have haters no matter what you do, so you might as well just do whatever the you want. I promise you, even if you don't think you have haters, I promise you that you have them. Just because they're not saying it to your face doesn't mean they're not saying it behind your back, doesn't mean that they're not thinking it in their heads. Now, what happens is that the moment you put yourself out there, the moment you become more vocal, the moment that you take a chance on yourself, other people become more vocal as well. But just because you stay in the shadows and you don't do anything doesn't mean that people aren't talking. So if you do nothing, people are going to hate. If you do something, people are going to hate. If you do something else, people are going to hate. Someone's always going to hate. You can never please everybody. So you might as well just do what it is that you want to do. And that way you can at least live with the hate that you're receiving, knowing that you're being true and authentic to yourself. Other people's opinions only matter if you let them matter. So what I recommend is to pick a small group of people and make that small group of people diverse, intelligent, kind, wise, and choose people that know you very well and listen to those people, and for the most part ignore 99.9% of everybody else's opinions. Because as much as people want to say I don't care what people think of me, you're going to care what people think of you. So it's a matter of picking the people whose opinions you care about. Life lesson number 5: 99% of people in your life will come and they will go. Most people are not meant to stay in your life forever. Now, when I was young, I fought this a lot because I had built relationships with people and it frustrated me when those relationships didn't last. But once I realized that this is just how life is, I realized that I was fighting something that I couldn't change. And so why would I do that? Because fighting something you can't change will completely overwhelm you. And so accepting that and being cool with that and giving so much of your care and attention and love to the 1% that is there for an extended long period of time is much more of a recipe for happiness than trying to fight something that you can't change. Everybody's got their own life and your paths will cross and then they will diverge, and it just is what it is. Life lesson number 6: luck plays less of a role in success than most people think. When I was younger, I understood that hard work mattered, but I severely overestimated the role that luck plays in success. A lot of success has to do with, number 1, believing that you can achieve that success, and number 2, working toward it consistently and persistently and in a disciplined fashion. So if you want to achieve success, I can't promise you that you will achieve the exact level of success that you are aiming for. I can't promise you you'll be the next Michael Jordan or the next Albert Einstein, but I can promise you that if you work insanely hard and you really truly believe that you can achieve great things, you will achieve some great things. It's like that old saying goes, I'd rather aim for the moon and land amongst the stars than to not aim at all and stay on Earth. So work hard and aim to learn every single day. Life lesson number 7: luck still plays a role though. Luck and hard work are kind of two opposite sides of a spectrum. On one side, you have the people that believe that everything is due to luck, and on the other hand, you have the people that believe that everything is due to hard work. But the reality is somewhere in the middle. As hard as Michael Jordan worked, he was gifted with natural talent. That is sheer luck. Obviously not to take anything away from Michael Jordan and his insane work ethic, but his natural talent and ability was sheer luck. Also, if you talk to people that have achieved very high levels of success, most of them will be able to point you to a place in their life where they say, if that right there didn't happen, I probably wouldn't be where I am. Mark Cuban famously talks about how every billionaire had a significant amount of luck that played into them becoming billionaires. And so as unhealthy as it is to believe that luck is the only thing, it's also unhealthy in my opinion to believe that hard work is the only thing. Because if hard work was the only thing, everybody that aimed to be a billionaire and actually followed through on that plan would end up becoming a billionaire. But that's not necessarily what happens. Some people aim to become billionaires and become 100 millionaires, 10 millionaires, millionaires. Like I was saying previously, you aim for the moon and you land amongst the stars. And so as much as we want to work as hard as we possibly can, and we absolutely should, I have learned that in order to enjoy our limited time on this earth, we have to be able to let go and trust God. And we have to be able to do that while still working insanely hard. Life lesson number 8: learn to forgive others. Very important to understand that forgiving does not equal forgetting. Forgiving is a sign of strength, not weakness. Not forgiving will build up resentment, and resentment will cripple you. And if that still hasn't convinced you, not forgiving the person that harmed you allows that person to still have a hold over your emotional life. And so the best revenge is actually, in a way, to forgive, because the moment you forgive, that person and what they did no longer has a hold on you. Obviously, this is like anything else in life. It gets easier the more you do it. And if somebody really wronged you, it's easy to say in front of a camera, just forgive. But I understand that it can take time, but I'm just simply saying that that's an important perspective to have. Life lesson number 9. Put yourself out there, but never rush love. I like to tell people how my wife is the only person that I ever dated, and I didn't meet her until I was 27. I was like 4 months away from turning 28. And for the longest time, I thought there was something wrong with me, or I was just way too hard on myself for the fact that I had never dated anybody, at least not for a long period of time. Like, I had gone on dates and stuff, but I had never formally dated anybody. And I was way too hard on myself. Like, I promise you, I thought there was something wrong with me because I would see everybody else, you know, dating and doing that stuff. And I was like, I just haven't really like found somebody that I want to do that with. And I thought there was something wrong with me. But the fact of the matter is, I don't know if it was because I was very close with my mom or I was very close with my sister and I just had a different view of relationships. I don't know what it was, but when I saw people getting into relationships just to be in a relationship, just to kind of have a girlfriend, I was like, that's not what I want. Like, I want somebody that I can build with. I want a best friend and a partner. And I never settled for anything less than that. And I am so glad that I never settled for anything less than that, because my wife is amazing. She is literally the perfect person for me. I am the perfect person for her, according to her. And so if I had wasted my time trying to be with somebody just to be with somebody because I was insecure that I wasn't with somebody, then I would have never met my wife. And so I'm very proud of myself for never settling. But honestly, if I could tell something to my younger self, is, dude, don't be so hard on yourself over this. You're doing the right thing and the right person will come into your life. But at the same time, the right person will come into your life only if you are putting yourself out there. So put yourself out there, but don't rush love. And finally, life lesson number 10. People are everything. Okay, maybe obviously not everything, because almost nothing is absolute, but the people that you surround yourself with will impact the quality of your life more than anything else. Whether it's coworkers, family, friends, I am a huge believer that nothing will impact the quality of your life more than the people you surround yourself with. If you surround yourself with good people, you give yourself a great chance of having a good life. And if you surround yourself with bad people, you give yourself a horrible chance of having a great life. I remember when I graduated law school and I was interviewing for my first ever job, one of the things that I always used to say in my interviews is that I believe that if I had to choose between doing something that I loved and being surrounded by crappy people, or doing something that I didn't love but being surrounded by great people, I would choose doing something that I didn't love, but being surrounded by great people. As important as purpose and passion and loving what you do is, I think that the people that you do it with is more important than the actual thing you're doing. And that's something that young people get wrong all the time. You know, we want to fit in. We don't really know much about people. We don't really have life experience to know who's good people and who's bad people. So if I can go back and tell myself something at 18, or if I can tell an 18-year-old something, is exactly this, that the people that you surround yourself with are going to influence the quality of your life more than probably anything else. And you will get it wrong, and you will trust the wrong people, and that will probably happen for the rest of your life. It will happen less as you get older, but the more you learn and the more you grow and the older you get, the smaller your circle tends to become. Now, if you like this video, I think you'll also like this video right here on how I make time for everything, even as a full-time lawyer. And as always, if you like this kind of content and want to see more, make sure you join the community, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment letting me know what you liked and what you want to see more of. And if you want even more resources, feel free to check out my website at the link below, where you can download your free copy of the 4-step morning routine to high performance and peace of mind. Other than that, I hope you found this super helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.